Welcome back to LeflerMotors. We're on today's episode. We're working on this. This is my 1984 Mercedes 300D turbo diesel. I've done a video on this in the past. I picked this up for about $500 from a local tow truck driver who was hauling it at a junkyard. The first time I saw this car, I tried to do one of the more standard will it run type videos. Last person to tinker with this was trying to get the starter to work, so they disassembled the starter. I wasted way too much time trying to rebuild it myself. After I ended up getting a new one, I've come to the suspicion that I think the motor in this is locked up. But it's been sitting here under this tree for a while getting full of ants, and I think it's time for me to drag it into the temporary shop over here on the side of the house, and let's see if the motor actually is locked up, or if this is going to be easy to put back on the road this episode. This can only go as badly as I allow it to. Definitely a blessing that the airbags in that truck don't work. Alright, now that anyone who cares about scratching the paint on a classic car is gone, we can start digging into this. I mean, the glued-in windshield is leaking everywhere on the inside. This thing's full of ants now. It's only been here like 2 months now, and it's just worse than when I got it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the engine's locked up, so yeah, that does it. How do I open this again? There we go. Let me get something. I think I left my hood prop in here. I did. Yes. Only the finest for the Mercedes-Benz. Yes. There you go. Alright, so here's your 84 300D. You got you a turbo over here. That makes it go slightly faster. Then you got these right here. Those you're dieselizing so that you can do a diesel. It's all mechanical. It's IDI. And you can run this thing off vegetable oil, motor oil, hairspray, whatever. You know, these are kind of known for just running on everything. I mean, they keep them in like over in Africa and Asia and wherever. They just live forever. You see a lot of like the videos on YouTube where it's like, oh well, we built a head gasket out of a rock, and you know, we're doing all this in the mud and it runs. So it'll run. Go ahead and answer that question for you. Still just as gross on the inside. Except the back seat's a little bit cleaner. I did a little bonk on the trunk when I was pulling it with the truck, so I'm gonna have to fix that because now it won't open. I shut it and I'll figure that out. It feels like it's made out of tin cans or something, and yeah, it's just full of ants now, so that's great. My yard has had an ant problem since I bought the place, and there's no amount of Sevin dust and spray on bug be dead that works. So we just have ants in all the cars, which is great because like I like to scenically park some under trees. But I believe last I looked at this, I was under the impression that maybe the motor was seized, and I could only really fit a wrench on this pulley here, and the power steering pulley was turning and the belt was just slipping. It wasn't turning the crank down there. So that's what led me to think that. The rain is really coming down now. I'm glad I pushed it when I did. Oh boy. But yeah, so I'm gonna pull this radiator out and get something on that crank. Unless, no, I don't think I can get anything from the bottom. I'm gonna pull this radiator out and get on that and actually try and crank it over. And if not, we can unseize this engine. If you're wondering why I made such a stink of pushing it in the carport, we got a brake It's been raining for a week and a half straight. It's supposed to continue raining for another week. I got a break this morning. I have to leave for work in 30 minutes. But I figured I could film an intro and pull the car in here. And then when I get home tonight, I'm just going to pull the injectors out and do that. And YouTube. All right, 16 hours later, and unfortunately, no one stole this, and it didn't burn to the ground or explode. So it's time for me to check if my hypothesis is correct. As a man of science, I understand things like math and reasoning. I know my neighbors love me at 4 a.m. Can I get back here and not jack up the oil pan like someone has done previously? I need a third flashlight. Yeah. That looks like a safe and reliable jack point. It's the one I'm going to use. Probably chalk off those rear wheels, huh? Maybe. I'm not gonna bother chalking them off. I'm pretty sure the rear brakes are locked up anyway, so who cares? All right, I'll find something to chalk those wheels with. All right, where's something solid? Okay. Oh boy. So when I first picked up this car, I kind of mentioned to you guys how it was surprisingly rust-free in like all the common areas. And I'm like, ooh, got us a score. If you come down to like the jack points, and then, you know, you start looking at the rest of the floor, but especially, you know, like right there where I'm supposed to put the jack. Yeah. All right. That's good. Just don't ever let something as trivial as a little rust get in your way. We're just gonna keep jacking her up. I'll find somewhere else to put all that. Probably put the jack stands under the control arms, maybe? Alright, Harbor Freight jack stands. Time to show the world what you're made of. Pretty sure they call it Chinesium. We'll just get back here and see how that reacts. Does not seem to be very well. I gotta fix that. Won't do that again. I'll find another spot, thank you. Good enough. Alright kids, so I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is, I'm always right about everything. And the bad news is, this motor's locked up. But, hasn't been an issue before. We can handle it. Also, even badder news, I lost my ratchet down there. Before I even bother looking for these wrenches, I'm just gonna preemptively soak all of this down. All of the fuel lines, all the injectors can just get soaked down with PB Blaster, and then while I spend 45 minutes looking for my tools, they will be soakified, and maybe... Don't tell me I'm running out of this stuff. This is the good stuff. Just hose it down. Alright. I'm going to look for wrenches. Also, the sun is up now. So that's good. I have to get back up for work in 5 hours. But if I don't get this prepped and ready to be unseized in time for the weekend, then I have to spend the weekend waiting on what I could be doing now. So, scientific. Alright, well I was going to crack all these loose off camera, but I cracked the first one loose, about broke my finger, and figured you guys would enjoy watching stuff like that. Get, go, ah! See? Like that. Hilarious. Hilarious, isn't it? Oh. Diesel engines are significantly more simple and easy to work on and understand than gas vehicles. But boy, are they out for blood sometimes, I tell you. Be free. Be free. Nope, you demand another blood sacrifice? I understand. We can't all be perfect. You know, I'll spend 7 hours doing something the hard way so that I don't have to take off one extra thing. But you know what? It's the game we play. How dare you? Do I just have a regular 17mm wrench laying around? I do indeed. Will this work any better? Line wrenches were invented by Big Line Wrench to sell more line wrenches. But the regular croissant can be doing the job even better. Shout out to free rusty tools that I found in the trunk of cars that I buy. Saving the day as always. Alright, now you're the last fighter because of this device over here. Okay. Get out of here, you freaky looking thing. Alright, don't need that no more. Just throw that in the trash. Alright, so now that our lines are off, freeing up a stuck diesel engine is almost exactly the same as freeing up a gas engine. The only difference is instead of spark plugs, you have glow plugs. This one right here in the middle is kind of broken, and I'm gonna rip this wire off and tear it apart trying to get it out of here. So I'm gonna just keep that one in there. The other 4 are out, so we're just gonna assume the middle cylinder is fine, and we're gonna soak the front 2 and the back 2. Now everybody has their own methods. Marvel Mystery Oil, PB Blaster, whatever. You know, their own little combination of what they do to unseason an engine. My go-to is ATF and acetone. Sure. Just a ratio of whatever your heart desires, close to 50-50, sure. And that'll be fine. And like I said, there's a million different ways you can go about mixing it up. The reason I do ATF and acetone is 1, because that's what's worked for me in the past. And 2, there's a guy on YouTube out in Arkansas, goes by Jennings Motorsports. And that guy, I've watched him like pull 100-year-old engines out of the woods and get them running. So, you know, that's what he does. He could probably get the Titanic running again. So I'm gonna trust his judgment. That funnel's not gonna work. So the glow plugs go in these cylinders like perfectly horizontal. So I'm gonna have to hit a bit of a stranger technique. Let's not spill it everywhere. Yep, that can sit right in there. And then I should be able to hold this in the holes and give it a pump. That'll go in there. Yep, that'll get some of it in there at least. Alright, now the best part of any seized engine project, the waiting game. So when I snap my fingers, it'll be the weekend. Come on, this thing never works.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Oh yeah, what wonderful weather we're having. I was really hoping to be able to avoid it and keep being lazy, but I'm not going to be able to get enough torque on the crank bolt unless I remove the radiator. So I get to remove the radiator. What fun. Well, on the bright side, it appears that the radiator is empty, so shouldn't be too much of a hassle. Being held in place by that, huh? Well, at least the oil cooler line has oil in it. That's good. They slip off or break it loose. Can you drip somewhere else, please? Oh, that's great. That's crumbling in my hand. That's good. I love when the transmission cooler line just, crumbles to dust when you touch it. That's good. That's always a good sign. That's actually what you want. You don't want your transmission cooler line to feel like it's made out of rubber. You want it to feel like it's made out of the curse of Ra. And just turn into sand as soon as you touch it. You also want it to be almost completely empty. And full of whatever that is. Okay. If your hands don't look like this when you're eating your lunch, you're just a liberal sissy. Come on. Definitely should have taken that hose off from the bottom, I feel like. Alright, now that I got a bunch of coolant in my eye, this would be a great time to let you know to subscribe to the channel so that when I finally go blind, you guys will be here to see it. I'm gonna wash my eyes out. Oh! Well, it's got some dirt daubers on it. I'll clean that off. Alright, now that radiator's out of the way, I can get the... Now that radiator's out of the way, I can put the Crank Destroyer 9 billion in here and give her a spinnerino. Oh! Now that's like butter. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what 3 days of ATF and acetone will do for you. Should spin with the starter now. Oh. Reunited with your old battery. I bet that feels good. You've been jealous. I've been using your battery for American cars. Do you know why? Because American cars run. American cars don't give me a headache. And if you don't give me a headache, you get to keep your battery today. All right. Please work. Yeah! Woo, you can smell that acetone in the air. Give you guys a better look and hopefully not splash the camera. Alright, let's start putting our glow plugs back in and then we can bleed our injectors and I don't know, this thing might go ahead and fire for us. If I can see. Hello? There you are. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, get in there. I don't know what the torque spec is on the glow plugs, and well, I'll be honest with you, I'm not looking it up. So I'm just gonna put them on and get them tight. I mean, just, you know, use some common sense. Don't crack the block. Don't let them fly out under compression. Torque spec of, it's a German car, so, you know, the torque spec is good and tight. That's terrible. I gotta edit that out. No one wants to hear that. I'm sorry. Yeah, torqued to spec. All right, the glow plugs are all installed, and I loosely put the fuel lines back on. And the reason I did that is because if you notice, the return lines are missing. When I was pulling the lines off, I ripped one, and then I realized all of them were in kind of poor shape, so I ripped them all off. I ordered some on Amazon, and they were supposed to be here yesterday. But I don't know, man. I guess Jeff Bezos put my order on that rocket they blew up in Florida, because they're not here. So I have to wait to put those on, but I can go ahead and clean out this engine bay while I have a bunch of stuff out of my way, like over here, the rat nest next to the fuse box and all this grease and junk. This is a perfect time to go ahead and get all that cleaned out. Might as well give her the good treatment, the cleanerific treatment. Well, I've got like 1.5 squirts worth of this left in this can, so I'll see what I can get going with that. Around the injectors is just absolutely disgusting. You know, back in my younger days, when I was a real big Fast and the Furious and Need for Speed Most Wanted fan, I would have loved to have yanked this valve cover off and painted it some kind of goofy color and lowered this car and this and that. And now that I've gotten old and stubborn, and I actually work on cars pretty regularly, I know that I want to do everything in my power to avoid ever taking the valve cover off of this thing. And just like that, I've signed myself up for one of the valves being stuck when I go to crank this. Is that perfect? No. Is it slightly cleaner? Yeah. Is it a little less greasy? Absolutely. But, you know, we don't go for perfect on this channel. We go for somewhat arguably better. And that's the way we do things. Now I'm stuck waiting on injector return lines so I can bleed the injectors. And as soon as those come in, they'll take 30 seconds to put on, and then we can fire this up. And then I might put the radiator back in at some point, but not doing that, because last time I freed up an engine, it got itself seized up again. So you get no radiator until you've proven yourself.
Several days later.
Mail's here, mail's here. Took long enough. Seems to be some quality stuff. Badger Diesel. Not bad. They got this sent out to me pretty quick. I will say, though, if you're going to put something in the package, don't put a business card. Put a sticker. Because if it was a sticker, I'd go slap it on the side of the car, or I'd go put it on a toolbox. This is going to go on my fridge, and no one will ever see it. Alright, replaced all those injector return lines. I mean, the hose seems like it's a decent quality. I didn't really have any issues with it. I mean, it's hose, you know, whatever. Check out Badger Diesel if you need the hose. It was the cheapest I found online, and the only complaint I have is that they sent a business card instead of a sticker. So, yep. All right, I thought about it, and I do need to go ahead and just put the radiator back in, instead of waiting to see how the engine behaves, because if I'm bleeding the injectors and for some reason it decides it's time to go, all my oil cooler and transmission cooler lines are unhooked. And funny thing about these is, you know, it's kind of rare, but they are kind of notorious for vacuum leaks, causing it to be very difficult to turn this off once it starts. Like 0.01% chance any of that happens, but it's a non-zero chance. I should clean that up a little bit before I put it back in there. Yep, that's a little bit slightly more betterer. Oh yeah. Is that lined up at all? No, maybe. Do a little shimmy, a little shimmy, a little squeeze. It really just never gets any lighter. Okay, zip-a-dabba-za. Yep. Dude, I got my clack hooked up. Is that positive? Cool. Okay. Where's my wrench? Hello? King Julian, where's my wrench? So I should be able to get you guys in to see what I'm doing. Basically, we're just looking. We've got all the injectors loose. I don't know if you can see my hand. There it is. We've got all the injectors loose. So what we'll do is crank it over until I start seeing fluid come out of each injector. As I see fluid come out, I tighten them up. Diesel stuff. I think this zoomed in shot's gonna be more inconvenient than me just... Alright, I don't know how well you can see it, but we got this one is bleeded, blowed, whatever. So we could tighten this one up. And that's basically the game we play until all these are bled. Alright, that should be good. Alright, the next one immediately. Once you get one of them, they start to kind of go pretty quick. I mean, you can have your problems with them. You know, anybody that works on like heavy diesel equipment knows it's they can be problematic, especially old like Caterpillar stuff. That's why I prefer butterflies. Oh, did we get all three at once? That's awesome. Cool. Alright, no leaks. Alright, so now let's find a way for glow plugs to start working. It would never be anything as simple as just the key, right? No, that doesn't work. The blower motor is on, and that's gross. But we have that. That's in park. Maybe it does something. No! That was too easy! Let's see if it shuts off by the key, because that's a common issue on these. She's loud though. I don't know if the camera picks up how much this thing's shaking right now. Then turn it off with the key. Is it cold air coming out of the vents? Hang on. No, it does not shut off with the key. All right. So you have your emergency stop here. That works, good. Okay. So I gotta trace vacuum lines, figure out why the key doesn't shut the thing off. But the emergency works. Looks like we still have a bit of a leak around the injectors over here. But it ran! Yes! Alright, I've gone ahead and filled up the old Vorsich Uberdruck cool system. That probably means coolant reservoir in German. I always wanted to learn German when I was in school. They put me in French, and I'll tell you this, never wanted to learn French. Refused. Failed it 3 years. I ain't learning French. Absolutely zoned out in that class. I will not be speaking French. Let's see where this battery tray goes. I assume that's the only way it works. It's like that. Yeah, it looks like it bolts right there. Look at that. Doesn't look good. I don't know if I want it touching those wires actually either. But yeah, that's 100% how it sits in there. I don't think I have any bolts to hold it in. But we can see what I got laying around for now. It's probably way too far gone for any of this to be worth any of the effort anyways, but I'm just... No, and I'm not just covering it with spray paint. It's a rust reformer, so I mean, it'd do something, I guess, just to keep it at bay until I can source another battery tray. Throw it right in the oil on the ground, that'll be good. And get a little in this corner where it sits too, because there's some rust here. I've ruined the factory paint job now. Just scrap the car, it's trash now. You know, it doesn't have numbers matching paint, and I've honestly just ruined it, so. Well, I was able to get the trunk back open. I had to wrestle with it for a minute to get it straight again, but you can open and close the trunk now. So, that's good. I wanted to get in here and see if maybe I could find some bolts for the battery tray to hold it in place, because I don't have any bolts laying around, but I forgot how much just trash and stuff is in here, so I'm just going to get this cleaned out. This may be important somewhere up front. Definitely need some of this. Has this one got stuff in it too? Okay, good. Yep. Yep. Alright, I'll empty both of these in the interior as well. Oh, this is cool. What is this? It's Burger King. It's an old, like, sticker puzzle thing. That's cool. Yo, is that Subway Surfers? Yo. Subway Surfers. Tung 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 sahir. Keeping that now. Ooh. Got a copy of the Karate Kid on DVD. I think I'll throw that away. A lot of times I just throw stuff like this away, but you know, with it possibly being a part of this car, I would want to keep it because parts are not easy to find. Some kind of soul or something. I don't know what that is. Alright, we got a really rusty factory spare. There's the factory jack. This is what I was telling you about. It's got this little rod. Those holes on the side of the car, you slide this in and crank it up to jack the car up off the ground with those holes, but they're all rotted out now, so you can't really use those. Alright, this should help contain a lot of the rust until I can actually get around to properly fixing the trunk. I got way too sidetracked on this after I was able to open it, but kind of glad I did. It was pretty rotten in there. And then I'll clean all that stuff up in a little bit. The actual metal tray that was supposed to cover the tire is gone. It's just this piece of siding over here they laid down, so yeah. This car was never perfect to begin with. I'm making it slightly better. Alright, so I couldn't find any bolts that fit the battery tray, so we're gonna run the old zip tie method. And yes, I can access that from under here. Which means I can put the right back in that hole. It's like, you know, they perfectly plan for somebody to get in here and do this with a zip tie. Like, if they don't want you to do it, why do they make it so easy? There you go, it's not perfect. Probably need to put some tape on the edge of this wire right here where a rat's been chewing on it. But that's better. You know, for an 80s car, it's still a German car, which means it's still, everything's kind of in the way.
You just have to use the special tools. You just have to use the special tools. You see, in Germany, we have created a flathead screwdriver that is shaped like a Z. And that is the tools that you use to get in here. That's fine. We in Alabama, we gonna make do. We gonna do what we got with what we have. If you wanted this German car taken care of, you should have left it in Germany. Get on that turbo manifold, buddy.
Which I don't want to put it on super tight because I still don't really trust this engine very much. I have to shut it down with the fuel shutoff over there already. You know, if it starts to try and run away, I probably kind of want to have this just snug enough to where I can still just pop it off and throw something over the turbo real quick if it tries to run away. Not saying it will. I don't want to jinx myself. I can't remember if I ever got around to popping this open to see if it had if the filter was gross or something. Oh yeah, that's right. It's got that little nut. Get out of here. Just get out. Okay. Whew. Yeah, it's fine. We'll send that. We'll let that do just whatever it wants. But you got to check. I mean, there have been mice in this car. I mean, you don't want to suck none of that up. There's a lot of rust in that tank. Whole tank's full of rust, or at least the filler neck is. But these are problems for later, I suppose. I'm not even gonna look up a tank right now. I'm gonna throw a little bit of ATF in there. And so now when you dip my diesel, it's going to be red for absolutely no other reason except for the ATF. Everything about these liberal safety cans is just a disaster. I swear. They're just terrible in every imaginable way. All right. Let's see if anything's leaking off the bottom. It doesn't look like any leaks, so about a quart of ATF and 5 gallons of diesel, that'll be good just to put her through the ropes. All right, let's see what this old girl can do. Try and bring it down real slow. Yep, bring it down real slow. There you go. Come on. Still haven't looked into the neutral safety switch wiring, so we're still starting with the jump box. All right, glow plugs. Hit it up. All right. Oh, it's nasty in here. There's spiders everywhere. What does it say? It says we're out of gas. Our oil pressure is 3, which is maxed out, so that's good. What happens if I hit the gas? Gas pedal is slow to respond, but it does respond. Brake pedal feels like it's got a little something. What happens if we put it in reverse? There's the brake release. I think. No, that's the hood. This is the brake release. Still says the brake's on. Alright. We're in reverse, it says. Nothing. Neutral. I can't. I'm gonna have to switch out of my boots because I don't have room to put my foot down on the pedal here. Alright, so neutral, obviously nothing happens. It doesn't feel like it's... Let's try reverse one more time. Okay. I've got very little brakes, and I really got to give it something to get it in gear. You know what? I bet I never checked transmission fluid. Yeah, we're completely empty on transmission fluid. Kind of blow by. I don't know. I mean, this motor was locked up. That could be completely normal. Well, that's not great. That's not great at all. Great. I need to figure out how to block the turbo real quick. Well, I'm gonna figure that out real quick. Will it run? Yeah.
Will it shut off?
And those are the things you road test for. All right. Hey, bud, come here.
Oh, go see Dad. He's a little dirty.
Yeah, Dad's covered in grease. I love you, buddy. We're gonna go to the store here in a minute. All right, that was more excitement than I hoped for. I tried it earlier, and the emergency fuel shutoff worked, and it didn't work this time. So, yay! I don't know. It's pulling fuel from somewhere else, but the only difference was the air cleaner. I mean, unless all that oil in the air cleaner, it wasn't running off that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some looking on this one, because I don't want that to happen again, like in public. You know, if I want to drive this down to the store or something, oh, let me shut it off. Hey, partner over there, can you come over here and hold the shut off while I cover the turbo? Yeah. Good times, good times. The alternator was only putting out 13 volts, so I don't know what's up with that. But, you know, we'll figure that out. I'm going to go to the store and get some breakfast. And what time is it? It's about 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm going to get my breakfast and then an energy drink or 5. And then I'm going to hop back on this. All right, I'm back out here this morning. And all the vacuum lines are a disaster. So, but I was able to figure out that the linkage for the emergency stop has just come out of whack somehow, because if I start it, I'll just let it run for just a second here. Alright, and so that's how I'm shutting it off now. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling a vacuum on the line that goes to the pump shutoff. So the pump shutoff is working. This didn't work because I guess it's out of adjustment. But I tried hooking back into the original line that had broken off back here, and it tried a little to shut it off, but it wasn't really getting enough vacuum. So I believe, see, this is all just a jumbled mess of people half fixing things. I believe this green goes to the climate control system. I'm going to figure out a way to where I can bypass literally everything and save the vacuum circuit for the key, and everything else doesn't matter. Like, I don't care about the door locks, I don't care about the climate control, if I can shut it off. And if I can't figure it out, I'll just run a longer tube off this and just keep that in the cab with me, or I'll keep it here, because I mean, I got to pop the hood to start it anyways. But let's get it put back together. I'm gonna put the air cleaner back on and see if that changes anything, because yesterday I was having issues with the air cleaner, or I thought maybe the air cleaner was messing up, you know, the shutdown. All right, got the air cleaner back on. Where to put the key? It's in my pocket. I've still got our hand pump connected, and it's still pulling vacuum. I should empty that, yeah. So I'm gonna try and start it. I'm gonna let it run for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna try and shut it off with just this. Fingers crossed. I'm just gonna let that run for a few minutes, and then I'll come back and we'll try and shut it off. I'll let it get warm, because that's trying to recreate what happened yesterday to see if I can avoid it, and it's just a vacuum issue. All right, she's been running for a few minutes. Here's the moment of truth, I suppose. All right, it's key off, key out. Pump that vacuum. Perfect, flawless. I could not have asked for that to have gone better. What's smoking over here? Probably just grease burning off. Yeah, just some gunk down there. I'm happy with that. All right, so trace down vacuum lines or give up and keep moving with stuff on the car. You know, it's always fun when I'm working on the car, because, you know, there's your stop, or there's your start switch over there, there's your stop switch, you know. I mean, just pop the hood to turn the car on and off. That's fine, that's fine, that's good. It runs, that's what we're going for here. All right, well, I guess since she's proven that she'll cooperate with us, she's earned a lot of transmission fluid. I got more of that Lucas left. I feel like this is a Lucas situation. I don't exactly know how much transmission fluid this thing needs, but it's gonna start with some Lucas just to give it a fighting chance. Start with half a gallon and see how that looks on the stick. What does a half gallon look like in there? I'll put just a little bit more, and then we'll see how it behaves after. Where do I keep putting that key? I left it on the roof. I think I need to get, when I do my GoPro shots, I need to get one of those like head straps or something. Free up my other hand. Imagine it worked with the key for once. Nope. Never get that lucky. All right, so it's got transmission fluid. That's not exactly ideal. Whoa. All right, what happened now? Come on. All right, key off. What? See some smoke. Something touching something it's not supposed to. Where's my flashlight? Did I knock that little thing loose off the starter? Doesn't look like it. It looks like it's still down there. How hot is that going to be on my hand? Probably very. Oh, that's hot. Is that yeah, no. What is going on? I gotta look into this. Hang on. I don't know, guys. It looks like, I guess when I put the air cleaner on, I was a little too rough with all this. I'm not sure, but it seems to be working now. I was able to get it to crank over. I'll just try real quick before yeah, it seems fine now. I guess it just had a loose connection. I don't know. Everything felt fine. I pulled it off, put it back on. I didn't want to crank for a minute. And then all I did was do it again, and it cranks. I don't know, it was also acting like it had no power at all for a minute there, so I don't know. This thing's weird, man. It just kind of does what it wants sometimes. Let's get fired up. I want to see if it'll move. Alright, well that works. I've still got vacuum on the fuel shutoff. Yeah, obviously, no fuel, no start, huh? Duh. There we go. I want to see what it's got. Let's see if I can get it to move at all. Oh yeah, I forgot there's whatever this wire is down here in front of the gas pedal. Get out of here! I don't know what you are. Oh, I know exactly what this is. It's that vacuum line they had trying to block off the old whatever. All right. Can I give it gas? All right. Brakes to the floor. We're in reverse. Oh yeah, she moved right away. Very little for brakes. Yeah, almost no brakes at all. Do I have wipers? How do I turn wipers on? No wipers. Okay. Really just, well, I'm building a lot of pedal, but not getting a lot of brake. Oh. Let's hop out here, let's see. I'm glad these GoPros are waterproof. Kind of looks good under our own power a little bit. I gotta shut the other camera off. I don't need to just record, you know, being out in the yard or whatever. I don't know how it shifts like into other gears or not, but it immediately went into reverse. Oh, it's wet. Can I mount you guys? Well, no, I probably shouldn't flip it upside down. So much slop in the shifter, but it does know we're in reverse, I think. I just pull this out of here. Oh, wow, 'cause it might. Just get out of my way. Alright. Oh, okay. Now you're in reverse. That's not great. Oh. Drive. Yep. Still like no brakes. I gotta, well, okay, now it feels like the brakes are locked up. Let me get this pulled back in here. I'll pop some wheels off. Wish it wasn't raining today. Oh. Yeah, it's like either all or nothing for brakes. Let me just go back in. Just go back in. I can't see anything. I don't know how far I'm going. Oh, it's pouring water in here too. I don't know if it's picking that up on the camera. It is just pouring water in here. It's always raining when I'm trying to do something. I don't get it. Under there seems all right. Definitely gonna need to bleed rear brakes. I'm gonna clean up some of my mess over here and try and get this pulled in enough to where I can pop all four wheels off. You know what, honestly, I think the back brakes are fine. They're good. I don't know what we're worried about. Hi-ya! Couple of spider webs. Tire's pretty low. It's a white wall on the inside. Ooh. You know, just a couple of spider webs in there. Well, you know, not something out of a horror video game, Resident Evil. Yikes. Apparently these, they call them bunt cake style wheels are sought after if they're in good shape. Mine, I don't think they are, but, you know. Okay, well that brake moves pretty freely. If I can get just one of the backs off, I think I'll be all right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if somebody just put a bunch of Loctite on the other side or what. Ah, front and rear disc. That's actually pretty nice. Much like some people on YouTube, I don't care for disc brakes. Oh yeah, that's all just rusty and crusty and gross. Should be able to clean them up a little bit though. Alright, the weather's really not wanting to cooperate with me today. I just went to my buddy's house. I've sat here with this impact, I've put PV Blaster on it, I've done my breaker bar with a jack handle on it, everything that I could do to try and get this to come off. It's not budging, so my buddy let me borrow his big impact, and if this doesn't work, I'm gonna put all the wheels back on and drive it to a tire shop and tell them I need my tires balanced, and they can figure it out. This is someone else's problem now. In a way, it kind of works out that I can't get that tire off, because all I really am going to be able to do is bleed these brakes, because it's going to be like a week or two wait to get pads and rotors, and honestly I'll probably go ahead and replace the calipers because they look disgusting. I'm sure they're fine, but I'll order all new brake everything. But that probably won't be today, so I'm just gonna do what I can to bleed these. I should be able to slide underneath the I should be able to slide underneath that wheel that still has the tire on. I'm just gonna get a little bit wet over here, so you know, that's just how it goes here at LeflerMotors. The weather never really cooperates. It's always raining. That's Alabama for you. It rains every day, and then it's also 100 degrees every day, so the humidity is like a billion. So I also still have a bit of a leak in the trunk, so I thought I got lucky just cleaning out these seals. I'll have to replace these seals. I want to do a full restoration on this eventually, but you know, I'll have to see how that goes. Sourcing parts for this is probably going to be a nightmare. But yeah, in the future, if you'd like to see more on this car, you know, subscribe to the channel, like the video. That'll let me know if you guys are interested in seeing this, or I mean, if you guys want me to stick to like American cars like the Blazer and, you know, the Chevy trucks, Ford projects, stuff like that. I know the German cars, they only have a very specific group of people that care for them. But I'm one of those. I like the older Mercedes, the older BMW, you know, Volkswagen. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna do what I can to clean these and bleed them, and just ignore that side over there. You know, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. That's the one that's giving me all the problems over there, but you know, that's how it goes. We can squeeze through here. I have a full shop back there. It just has no electricity. I gotta get that done. All right, can I get to the bleeder? Yes, okay, I can still get, maybe, get something on this bleeder back here. Oh, break it loose. Ah! I don't know if that broke it loose or if it just popped it off. No, I broke it loose. Am I gonna get any fluid out of there? I am completely soaked. You know, this is great. But that's why I'm recording with the GoPro, because it's waterproof. Is anything coming out of that? Nothing out of there at all. Okay. That's great. This hose doesn't feel great. I'm gonna clean the inside of this bleeder out real quick. See if it'll push through, and I'll put my vacuum bleeder on there. And oh no, I've got some fluid coming out now. Okay. I guess it just had to gravity bleed a little bit. This tire still doesn't want to move at all, so that's fine. I'll hook the vacuum bleeder up to this one and bleed it out. Well, I've never actually used one of these vacuum bleeders before, but I got this today actually at Harbor Freight so that I could do the so I could test the vacuum shut off earlier. So it says to get it in between 10 and 20. I'm gonna do like 13. And then just crack her open. And that's a lot of air coming out. Shut it off again. Let's put it up to like 15. Not a lot of fluid coming out of here. A lot of bubbles though. Normally I just, hook a tube up here and let it run into a bottle. So curious to see how this does as far as bleeding it goes. Seems pretty cool so far. The brake fluid looks disgusting. Let's crank it up to like 18. Oh, there's like chunks of stuff coming out of here. I don't know how well I'm picking that up on camera. Let me change the light a little bit. There's like all kinds of just like chunks and stuff coming out of that brake line. Still a bunch of air coming out. I don't know how I feel about this thing yet. It seems pretty cool. Down to 10 PSI now, so I'm gonna play rehabilitation on these. And then I'll be able to get a little bit better of a view when I'm on some of the wheels that aren't, in the rain. Alright, time for this spider web to get out of here. I already bled both of the rears, so moving up here to the front, and I'm just gonna take care of the spider problem a little bit. Yeah. Yikes! Oh, you were a big one, weren't you? You've been dead a long time, but I still don't like your house. Not a fan of your decorating. The rotors up front don't actually seem terrible, but I can go ahead and replace all of them, so I'm not worried about making them look good or nice or nothing. I just kind of want to get this area clean. Just want to bleed. Woo! Yeah! When that second can of brake cleaner starts hitting, let's go! Alright. Lois, I'm empty. Where did I put that wrench? There it is. Oh, that's good. I can slide that all the way back down there. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and... This thing's actually pretty neat. I don't know if I'd carry it in my go-to bag, but this is pretty convenient. Fluid on the front actually doesn't look terrible. No, we're getting a good steady. There's some bubbles in there, but not like it's the end of the world or anything. I'm gonna go ahead and put some more juice in the master cylinder. I'm sure it needs it by now. Not a whole lot. Give me more power, more power, baby. Still think the tried and true have somebody else in there hitting the brakes is probably the best and the easiest, but I'm also stubborn and old and stubborn, so. One more to go. Driver. Get another fresh can of the sauce. Let's put the straw in. Let's have a little bit of etiquette today. Oh yeah, fresh brakes, new brake lines. All right, brakes are rebuilt. Oh yeah, good flow. Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. We got flow. Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. All right, bleeditized. All right, I guess while I got this still in the air, it's a good time to do an unofficially licensed extreme oil change. That's tightening. It's so extreme, I don't even know how to use the... It's so extreme, I don't know how to use tools anymore. Unofficial extreme oil change, now featuring incorrect sized aftermarket drain bolt. Still pretty warm. These diesels hold heat. But let's see if I can get you a little view on that. It actually feels like it has very good lubricity. And that'll never come off. Diesel oil is gross. I probably should put gloves on, but then I'd have everybody in the comments saying, "Oh, you sissy lib." Clean your drain bolt. And the new oil filter comes with a new copper crush washer, so you know you can replace that. And then you can put the old one in your scrap pile, and eventually after enough oil changes, you can go get $3 worth of copper. Extreme oil filter location. Normally you'd tell people, hey, you should be careful back here because of... Lord have mercy. Normally you'd tell people to be real careful back here to not tear up the vacuum lines. Who put this on? The torque spec is like 2 foot-pounds. You'd want to be careful because all the vacuum lines, but someone before me has already taken the liberty of destroying all of them, so bon voyage. Oh, I don't know who put this in here, but they were not playing. And again, who knows how long it's been since the filter's actually been changed. Get out of here, vacuum lines to nowhere. Okay, do I still have my O-rings? Oh, those are bad. I don't know if I have any replacement O-rings that'll fit that, but if I do, I'm gonna need to replace them. This one isn't terrible, but the filter comes with a replacement for that one. And it's not a good replacement filter. So this is probably a Wix, which is a good filter, but they're not great for these. Let me show you the actual filter. So you want the filter to have a double layer or a double level. This is closer to what the OEM would. But yeah, these just aren't great. Let's see if got any O-rings stuck in there. Nope, those are good. Okay, so we'll chuck that somewhere on that table. Sure, make a mess. Alright, I don't have any O-rings that'll work, so we're just gonna send it. It's not optimal. If those O-rings are just completely shot, all the oil just bypasses the filter anyways, and it doesn't do anything. You gonna do me like that, huh? How about this? How you like these apples, huh? Filter first. You don't know nothing about those apples, huh? There we go. Bypass all my torn up vacuum lines. Just get on. Get on there. And I mean, you see, like, it's so easy because that junction for all them vacuum lines is right there. It's so easy just to tear them up, and that's usually the case of what happens. The problem is everything on this car is vacuum actuated, so you know, oil filter turns into, well, why don't my doors lock, and why can't I turn the engine off, and why doesn't my AC work anymore? You can only imagine the headache. People, you know, trying to save some money and do their own oil change, which is very commendable, you know, and not realize they tore up something and take it to Mercedes, or, you know, imagine if they took it to like a Pep Boys for their oil change to save money back in the day. Pep Boys screwed up a vacuum line, and then they're running back, well, all you guys did was change my oil, now my AC doesn't work. I can only imagine the headache. Alright, and to finish off our quality oil change, we're using Rotella T4, which is actually, we're using it for something it's meant to be used with today. It's 7.9 quarts, so 2 gallons. If it's over full, it's over full. I'll pour 1.5 gallons and then I'll check the level. Well, there's that 0.1 quart that I don't need in here. Looking at the bottom anywhere, nope. I have on occasion forgotten the drain plug. Dip the stick, buddy. And that's right about there, so yeah, we'll just top it off with 2 jugs, and that'll be it'll be about as simple as you can make it, I feel. Let's see what we're at now. Yep, that's just barely over full, and I mean, none of it's passed through the filter or anything, so that's good. Clean up the mess slightly, just rust proofing the valve cover there. A lot of people, you know, do their own thing. A lot of people have more confidence than I do. When it comes to lug nuts, lug studs in this case, I just start them by hand to make sure I'm not cross-threading them. Some people are more brave than I am and just go ahead and zip them on with the impact and never have any issues. I seem to have issues with just about everything I try to do. Alright, and then the torque spec on these lug nuts is you take a 3/8 Milwaukee impact and put it on 3. And repeat on the other 2 wheels. Got her back on the ground now. I guess let's take her for a test drive. Where's my little switches in there? And let me go ahead and hook up the off switch real quick. Can't hold the camera. Can't hold the camera. I hope you like this exciting view. I'm hooking up the off switch. Alright, there's the off switch. Let's see. I think my audio thing is about to die. But let's get this cranked back up and see if we can take her for a rip. And get her out of gear. What's up, guys? I've got you on the back window because I didn't know where else to put you. That's reverse, right? Feels like them brakes are still locked up. E-brake light is still on. Oh, the brakes are locked up worse than they were. Well, make that make sense. Yeah, the pedal's rock hard now. you know, guys, it'd probably help if I took the wheel chocks off, huh? I'll tell you what, fellas. You want to get Walmart wheel chocks? Get the ones from Walmart, because they work fantastic. Oh yeah, I've got a lot more pedal now. Still not great. Battery light's on, but like I said, I think I looked, the alternator wasn't doing a whole lot. Here she is, just idling along. She doesn't look great. She definitely needs a lot more work. I don't know if I'm gonna put this thing on the road today because it's raining. Those brakes are real iffy. And I gotta get some, I just gotta redo all the brakes. But we take her for a little tour around the cul-de-sac, I feel like. How about this? How about you guys get this front row? I definitely do not trust taking this thing like out. I kind of wanted to take and run it to the car wash, but the rain today, you know, the most important thing is safety when it comes to driving an old rig like this on the road. And I'm not really super concerned about my own safety, but if those brakes were doing something weird and, you know, a family of 5 cut off in front of me and I had to jam them up real quick and I just couldn't, I'd feel terrible. I mean, I have insurance and everything like that on the car, so I mean, it's not like it's illegal to drive on the road, but I don't want to take that chance with anybody else's family. I'll take my own safety in my own hands, but I'm gonna order some brakes and stuff for this. I mean, it's just sitting here idling. It's up to temp. It's not acting weird or anything aside from the brakes issue, and the throttle is real sluggish to respond. But I think those linkages, like I said, are all just kind of out of adjustment. It's just something I'll have to work on going forward. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me. This is a part 2 on this Mercedes 300D. I really kind of want to do some more stuff. So if you like this video, leave a comment or, you know, just leave a like on the video. And subscribe if you want to see more stuff. I've got some stuff to do with an Explorer coming soon. I tried to pick up a Firebird this morning, but someone beat me to it. Someone's scrapping the car instead of saving it, but I can't save them all. But yeah, subscribe to the channel and you'll probably see more of this because I really like this car. But yeah, thanks, and y'all have a good one.